international
लाइव करिए आपने कोठे में एडे एडे नहीं जाते
स्क्रॉल करिए गो लाइव में क्लिक करना है
एडे क्लिक करिए
सीधा पड़ेगा
Good afternoon. So we'll discuss about the BRICS. So it is an association of 5 major emerging economy: Brazil, India, Russia, China, and South Africa. Fine. So every alphabet representing one country: B for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, C for China, S for South Africa. And they are 5 countries from 4 continents. Fine. They belong to Brazil from South America, Russia from Europe, China and India are from Asia, South Africa from Africa. The term was coined by British economist Jim O'Neill in 2001, representing emerging economies of the world. Right? So BRICS represent the emerging economies of the world. Right? The 4 countries first formed the BRIC in 2006. So the beginning was made in 2006 with the formation of BRIC. Brazil, Russia, India, okay, arranged for an annual meeting of foreign ministers on the sideline of the UN General Assembly meeting. Fine. It was called BRIC because, so B for Brazil, R for Russia, I for India, and C for China. 4 countries were there. The success of the meet led to the crystallization, okay, of an annual summit under the aegis of BRIC, Brazil, Russia, India, China Forum. Okay, so and South Africa was inducted to the group in 2010, making it from BRIC to BRICS, from BRIC to BRICS. Fine. This is the transformation of BRIC to BRICS. BRIC was Brazil, Russia, India, China. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, 2010. And it has been referred as BRICS since that day. Since 2010, this grouping is known as BRICS. Right? BRIC is an important grouping bringing together the major emerging economy of the world comprising, okay, but it is importance. So why it is being given so importance? Okay, because so looking at this, okay, so So what is the issue? So why it is so important? Because comprising 41% of the world's population. What? 41% of the world's population. 24% of the world GDP, gross domestic product. Over 16% share in the world trade. Population, GDP, and share. Total combined area of 29.3% total land surface also belong to these five countries. Around 30% of the land area, 31% of the population, 24% of the GDP, and 16% share in world trade belong to this particular group. Fine. Over a period of time, BRICS countries have come together to deliberate on important issues in the three periods. They emphasize initially on three different aspects: political and security aspect, economic and financial aspect, cultural and people to people exchange. Okay, so they discuss political and security issue among the member countries. They discuss the economic and financial issue. Okay, and discuss the cultural and people to people contact issue. Okay, of the group. Right. Summit the BRICS. They meet annually. Okay, and it is in this annual summit. So who meets? The heads of the state of the member countries. They meet annually at the regular forum. Fine. And through this regular meeting, they deliberate on important issues of common concern to the member countries. The most important issues of common concern of the member countries were discussed at the annual meeting. Fine. Every annual meeting takes up the important issues which are important for the members. And India hosted the meeting in 2021. Okay. And the 14th BRICS summit was hosted by China. The 14th one was hosted by China. And the previous one was hosted by India. Okay. So in September 2022, the foreign minister of Russia, Brazil, Russia, India, China extended their full support to South Africa for its BRICS chairmanship in 2023. Okay. So it will be hosted by China. It was hosted by China in 2022. Upcoming. Fine. So this meeting deliberates on major issue concerning the members. Normally, the BRICS summits. So it take off all important issues facing. Okay. So what are the outcomes of the this year's meeting. Okay, initiative the BRICS. So BRICS. So we'll discuss the outcomes, but prior to that, let's see why it was created and what the things. So the BRICS created the new development bank. So initially it was known as the BRICS Bank. Okay, earlier it was known as the BRICS Bank. BRICS Bank, and changed to NDB, New Development Bank. Okay, and India's banker A.B. Kamath was the first head of the BRICS Bank. Okay, so the Shanghai, the BRICS summit uh, at Brazil.
When 14 November test international institution.
14th.
Monday.
Right. So it was signed because this bank will provide the support to the countries, because these countries depends upon the Western dominated World Bank and IMF for their financial requirement. So to save the country from the excessive dependence on uh, the Western countries, okay, so they decided to go for having their own financial institution, which will help them in setting out the fulfilling the financial requirement of their country. Right. This is the BRICS Bank or the New Development Bank. So headquartered at Shanghai in China. So the BRICS Bank or the NDB and the AIIB are simultaneously created, okay, to fulfill the financial need of the countries or the emerging countries of the world. Okay, one is BRICS Bank, one is the AIIB. Okay, so BRICS Bank is right now known as the NDB. It is right now known as NDB, and along with it, an AIIB was also created. Okay, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank and the New Development Bank. Fine. Then it has far approved 70 infrastructure and certain new development projects, worth a huge amount. Fine. A contingent reserve arrangement in 2014, BRICS government has signed a treaty on the setting up of a contingent reserve arrangement. So, in case of any contingency, the member country can borrow from this reserve and pay it back on as and when their condition permits them to go for it. Fine. That is the contingent reserve arrangement. Fine. The arrangement is aimed at fostering short-term balance of payment pressures, provide mutual support and strengthening financial stability of the BRICS nations. Okay. Then the BRICS payment system. The BRICS countries are trying to create a payment system as an alternative to the SWIFT payment system, because the SWIFT is a global worldwide messaging network for the banks, and as Russia was recently blocked from the SWIFT because of the Ukrainian war issue by the Western power, so they decided to they plan for going for an alternative to the SWIFT payment system. These are taken on the new urgency as post-Ukraine war. Russia has been frozen out of the SWIFT messaging network. Fine. Then the agreements. Custom agreement were signed to coordinate and each trade transport between BRICS nations. Fine. So the BRICS country, they also agreed for a custom agreements, okay, by which so they will that movement of goods from one BRICS country to another BRICS country will be easier, convenient. Fine, it will be convenient and easier for that movement of goods from one country to the other. Fine. So this custom agreement will facilitate the movement of goods from one BRICS country to another. Okay. Then launch of remote sensing satellite. So they agreed for the launching of constellation of remote sensing satellite have been launched with 6 satellites, including 2 from India, 2 from China, 1 from Russia, 1 from Brazil, China collaboration. Fine. So they also decided to go for launching a remote sensing satellite to be used by the members for the remote sensing purposes. Fine. That is also part of the decision taken at the BRICS summit. Okay, hosted by uh, China recently. Fine. Then coming to BIMSTEC, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral, Technical and Economic Cooperation. Fine. So in BIMSTEC is a multi-regional organization established with the aim of accelerating shared growth and cooperation between littoral and adjacent countries in the Bay of Bengal. So name is Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral, Technical and Economic Cooperation. So it was created to promote cooperation and growth between the littoral and adjacent country in the Bay of Bengal. So the countries sharing border of the littoral states of Bay of Bengal are the members of BIMSTEC. Okay, Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral, Technical and Economic Cooperation. Fine. So it was founded as a BISTC. Okay, Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, Thailand. Okay, economic cooperation was created like this in 1997. Fine. And the adoption of the Bangkok Declaration with Bangladesh, India, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. So at Bangkok, Thailand. So the agreement was signed for establishing the BISTC. So consisting of Bangladesh, India, okay, uh, then uh, Sri Lanka and Thailand. Fine. It was the initial creation, BIST, BC, consisting of 4 countries. So it became a BIMSTEC, Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka and Thailand economic cooperation with the entry of Myanmar in late 1997. So BIST issue became BIMSTEC issue. Okay. So with the M stands for Myanmar. With the addition of Myanmar, BIST issue became BIMSTEC issue. Okay. So Bangladesh, India, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Thailand economic cooperation. Okay. It was in 1997 and eventually it was named in its current form when Nepal and Bhutan became members in 2004. Okay. The addition of Nepal and Bhutan to the new countries from Asia. Okay. The Himalayan countries. So it became BIMSTEC in the present name, like Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral, Technical and Economic Cooperation. Okay. So are the name suggests. Okay. So they want to promote economic cooperation in the Bay of Bengal region. Fine. Coming to its significance. Okay. The BIMSTEC region hosts The BIMSTEC region hosts 22% of the world's population at 1.68 billion people, and the member states have a combined GDP of USD 3.693 trillion per year. So it is a, around 3.6 trillion dollar economy. The BIMSTEC secretariat is in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Fine. And the BIMSTEC is an alternative. So right now the discussion has started that each BIMSTEC an alternative to SARC has BIMSTEC emerged as an alternative to SARC. Right. On this point, so because due to Pakistan's approach, India has decided to sideline Pakistan, and as India has decided to sideline Pakistan, so it is becoming close to BIMSTEC. That's why. So it is being decided that India is promoting BIMSTEC at a cost of to SAC. The PM of India invited SAC leaders to its first swearing-in ceremony. However, after Uri attack on Indian military base in October 16, India gave a renewed push for BIMSTEC that has existed for almost 2 decades but been largely ignored. Alongside the BRICS summit at Goa 2016, PM hosted an outreach summit with the BIMSTEC leaders. Okay, BIMSTEC country has supported India's call for a boycott of the SAC summit scheduled in Islamabad in November 16, and as a result, the SAC summit was postponed and finally it was cancelled. Thus, with work on several key initiatives under SAC remained ineffective because of the breakdown of the relations with Pakistan, India began focusing on other regional groupings such as BIMSTEC and Indian Ocean Rim Association. Okay, so right now it is being promoted as an alternative for India in comparison to SAC. India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Sri Lanka, and Thailand. One, it go this way. Clockwise: Sri Lanka, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand. Big country, India. Next bigger, Myanmar. Next is Thailand. Next is Bhutan. Next is Nepal. Okay, then Bangladesh, and then Sri Lanka. All these. Okay. So stands for okay. So accounts for 20% of the oil population, $7 trillion economy, one of the world's trade goods, six focus area: trade, technology, energy, transport, tourism, and industry research. These are the focus area of BIMSTEC, right? So in trade, technology, energy, transport, tourism, and fishery. Fine. So first summit held in Thailand. Sri Lanka is the current chair. Okay, because last summit was held in Sri Lanka. First BIMSTEC Summit 22, the Webang Initiative Multi-Technical Cooperation grouping conducted the fifth summit March in Colombo, Sri Lanka. The theme of the final summit, fifth summit, was towards a resilient region, prosperous economy, and healthy people. This reflects the current priority of the member states and the efforts of the BIMSTEC to help them deal with the economic and development consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic. Right? That is what they discuss. So the main outcome of the fifth summit was the adoption of the signing of the BIMSTEC Charter, which formalizes the grouping into an organization comprised of member states that are coastal and dependent on the Bay of Bengal. With the Charter, the BIMSTEC now has an international personality. It has an emblem. It has a flag. The fifth summit was also saw significant progress in the Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Technical Cooperation Connectivity Agenda, with leaders adopting the Master Plan for Transport Connectivity, which laid out the framework for future connectivity related activity in the region. Other agreement, Memorandum of Association on the establishment of BIMSTEC Technology Transfer Facility in Colombo will be established. Prime Minister of India, okay, okay, so it's a BIMSTEC Technology Transfer Facility. Okay, the Prime Minister of India recommended the free trade agreement among the member countries for strengthening the BIMSTEC. A free trade agreement like the what India signed with SARC, like the SAFTA. Similarly, so India also promoted a free trade agreement about trade among the BIMSTEC nations. Okay, so free trade among the BIMSTEC countries. Okay, that is also highlighted advocated by the Indian Prime Minister. India will contribute $1 million to the operational budget of the Bay of Bengal Initiative of Multi-Technical BIMSTEC Secretariat to establish. It has a formal listed purpose or principle that is going to adapt to. In line with the development of the organization into formal structure, the leader of the member country have agreed to divide the working of the grouping into 7 segments, with India providing leadership to the security pillar. Let's see what are the areas and which country are assigned to what. Bangladesh will look after trade, investment, development. Bhutan will look after environment and climate change. India will look after security, including subsector like counterterrorism, transnational crime, disaster management, and energy. Myanmar will look after agriculture and food security, and subsector agriculture, fishery, and livestock. Nepal will look after people-to-people contact, subsector culture, tourism, people-to-people contact, and Sri Lanka science and technology and innovation, and subsector technology, etc. So that is what is about the BIMSTEC and its agenda. Okay, and so BIMSTEC importance for India. For India, BIMSTEC align with its Act East policy for greater regional cooperation in Southeast Asia. It could also be seen as aligning with India's larger goal to gain trade and security prominence in the Indian Ocean region and to cater to the concept of the Indo-Pacific region, a major focus of the Quad countries. India also made efforts to enhance the pace of BIMSTEC progress in recent years. The BIMSTEC Energy Center was set up in Bengaluru, which, along with the BIMSTEC Business Council, a forum for business organization to promote regional trade. It aims to create free trade and power grid interconnectivity agreements and a master plan for transport connectivity in the Bay of Bengal region. So this is all about the organization and its relevance for India. So keep on watching our videos to update yourself on the other summits held recently.